Okay, you're on live.
Okay. Good morning. This is the special committee meeting regarding the Friends of the COA. It's Friday, May 12th. It's 9:35. And I first would like to ask for a call to order. Do I have a motion to open the meeting? Deb.
Motion.
Marie?
Second?
Deb, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I'm going to read the mission of the Council on Aging so that we can be reminded of this. The mission of the Council on Aging is to advocate for Groveland's older adults, to identify their needs, to develop and implement services to meet their health, economic, social, and cultural needs, to encourage maximum independence, and to improve their quality of life. So for those of you who may not know who we are, I thought we'd all do introductions. My name is Laurel Pahalski. I am the chair of the Council of Aging Board.
My name is Marie Waller, and I'm the treasurer of the Council on Aging Board.
I am Larry McKelney, and I'm a member of the board.
I'm Deb Stevenson, member of the board.
Barbara Sanborn, member of the board.
Linda Brown, member of the board.
Lisa Collins, Secretary of the Friends of the Council on Aging.
Alan Wilson, a member of council on Friends of, on the Friends of Groveland.
Joanna Donnelly, President of the Friends of the Council of Aging.
Rita Murray, a member of the Friends of the COA.
John Osborne, Treasurer of the Friends of the Council on Aging.
Valerie Osborne, Vice President of the Friends of the Council on Aging.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I am going to give the meeting over to Larry, our vice chair. He just said member. He's really our vice chair. And he's going to go from here.
I
Go
forget
there.
all these royal titles that we carry in our day-to-day operation. I want to thank everybody that is here today. And obviously, we all know that the Friends of the Council on Aging is both an important organization, but one that needs some more membership and an infusion of help. I want to thank everybody here for more than 20 years of supporting the Council on Aging. I got a hold of your bylaws this week and read through them and kind of just in terms of organizing how we go forward from here. It's pretty clear that from the bylaws that we have some positions to fill. John and Lisa have agreed to continue on, but we need 3 more people. We need a chairperson, a vice chairperson, and an assistant secretary. And as far as I can tell, and I haven't got a definitive answer from the town administrator, none of the board members can serve as those officers, but we certainly can help with other things that the Friends of the Council on Aging do, primarily the fundraisers. The purpose for the Friends, for those of you who might be watching at home, is to support the Council on Aging by funding. And as I understand it in the past, there have been a fall, a winter, and a spring fundraiser. This is talking pre-COVID. Is that true? Yes? So, and people are agreed that if we can keep the organization alive, we would have the calendar raffle, which happened in the fall last year. And traditionally, the spring yard sale has been carried on. Is that not a?
That hasn't been in effect for a while.
It hasn't been in effect, but it's something that we could resurrect as a possible
Yes, we're
fundraiser.
considering it.
We have all the gear,
Uh-huh.
but we don't have the energy.
Right. So that's what we're looking for. And the question is, how do we get more people involved? When you look at the bylaws, it very clearly states that anybody in town can, or anybody in town or even not residents of the town can be friends of the Council on Aging. So it's how do we get that infusion of people who are not retired, not only contributing membership dues, but also actively participating and rolling up their sleeves. And I know that, we've been talking about this most of the year, and there have been announcements on Facebook, and the Council on Aging has sent out reminders looking for people, and nobody has answered the clarion call for help. And we're not alone. I mean, you look at the other positions in town that are not being filled. So I don't have an answer, but, we have basically a month, and the three things that we need are a chairperson, the vice chairperson, and an assistant treasurer.
No, he's the treasurer.
No,
Assistant treasurer.
Assistant treasurer.
So, and I think that, if we,
Excuse me,
I'm going to open it up. Go ahead.
sorry. There was a reason that we had assistant treasurer in the past,
Uh-huh.
and that's not necessary anymore. We had an assistant treasurer because John and I used to go to England and Wales almost every summer to see relatives. And if there was something that needed to be signed on behalf of the Friends, John would be out of commission. He'd be over there. So we voted to have an assistant treasurer just for that reason. We do not have an assistant treasurer anymore, mainly because we don't go very far.
However, you always need someone else who is eligible to sign. Heaven forbid,
I agree.
John dies.
I agree.
Then what happens? Who signs, who gets, So even if this assistant treasurer is just someone who's signed off on the account, whether it be the president, the vice, it's not a good idea to have in the same family. We learned that lesson. But you need someone who, in case something happens, they can take over, because, working in the library, you do need that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, that's all. I didn't mean to.
Fair
So
enough.
that is, and it's not something that the assistant treasurer has to do a lot of work.
No.
John would be doing the major part of work. It's just an in case something happens kind of thing.
And the way it's stated in the bylaws, that
Right,
is
I
a
was gonna say.
person on the board. So it is a position that does need to be filled, as stated in the bylaws. So I'm opening up, and typically when we run a meeting, you work through the chair and all of that, but I want this to be an open discussion, so if anybody has any ideas, any thoughts, personally, I am going to go ring some doorbells in my neighborhood to see if I can get somebody. And I think it's important to emphasize that, these positions are all one-year terms. And if you can sell it that way, I think that people are afraid of long-term commitments, and, certainly you have, had a long-term commitment. The people who are sitting here have had a long-term commitment, but it doesn't need to be that way. The way the organization is written on paper, it's a fundraising organization, and just like with the youth sports or the, high school arts programs or any other civic organizations, you go in and put your time in, and then you turn it over to somebody else. And we haven't been able to turn over the role and function to the Friends of the Council on Aging to somebody else.
I would like to add a little bit of a caveat here, though, that,
Microphone.
is this on?
Yeah, if it's green, yes.
I would like to add one little caveat. We are completely independent of the Council on Aging, and there have been situations where we haven't approved a request from the council. Sometimes we have voted that we would pay part of what the council requested, and sometimes we felt we would feel that it wasn't appropriate that we pay for something. Like, for instance, we had quite a discussion at one time that we shouldn't be paying for our own appreciation of the volunteers' lunch. here were we killing ourselves to raise money, and our money is going to pay us for the
Appreciation.
You see the
Right.
point? We thought there should be maybe some other way that the council can, I know the council can accept donations, and Nisha has a donation account as well, so you're not completely penniless, although you are close to it these days with the way the voting has gone from the town. But I did want to just make that point that we sometimes do not agree to fund a request, or we partially agree to fund a request.
Right, and the other side of the coin, though, is that even though we cannot sit on your board, we can certainly be active participants in the fundraising efforts. And you know, I'm looking at the fundraising teams. I will, you know, certainly participate in the calendar raffle. I volunteer to take charge of developing a winter fundraiser. And, you know, we'll work with a team. I'll come back to the council, the Friends Board with an idea. And, you know, we'll work on whether or not we do the town-wide yard sale. It seems like people have missed that, and it would be one that we could work on. Joanna?
Yes, well, we've been ill, so we haven't had our meeting this year. And I have considered having suggesting a yard sale, but maybe one at the town hall where we don't have the people to go out and put the signs on the road for a big town Groveland yard sale. So I was thinking of bringing that up. Also, maybe a pizza party under the tent, and also to have maybe the fellow that has gone to the Historical Society for the antiques, it's just several thoughts that I've been thinking of to bring up. Plus, I really would like to keep the fall for doing the calendar. I think that's great.
But we need people to sign on the line that they're going to help. You know,
Right,
that's
that's important.
That's the key.
Right.
So, short-term, the most important thing is finding a chairperson, a vice chairperson, and an assistant secretary. Assistant treasurer, 1-year term. Anybody have any thoughts on that? I know that board members have already kind of surveyed. Go ahead. I'm sorry, we didn't give everybody else a chance to introduce themselves, did we?
Yes.
We did, okay, go
Except the
ahead.
new people
Just
that
that
came in.
last
Except a
lady that
couple
came in.
of people here that haven't.
Yeah.
What was that?
Would you
My
like?
question is that you were talking about assistant treasurer, and it's a 1-year term, and it only involves being there if a check has to be signed I'll take that job.
Okay,
Thank you.
Oh, good job.
I don't have a lot of time dealing with a lot of things, plus anyway, I can do that. I mean,
There you
Yeah,
go.
all of us are dealing with a lot
No,
of
I know
things.
that.
And, but, you know, if everybody can do just a little bit,
Yeah.
we'll be able to carry forward.
Rita does a lot, believe me.
Uh-huh.
She went out getting
only because I can
certificates.
do it on my time. I'm not
Right.
committed, and that's what
She
works well
has
for me.
really helped in the past.
Right,
Thank you, Rita.
and, you know, every organization needs people like that, and we just need a few more, you know, so. Any other thoughts?
As far as taking
Well,
those roles?
yeah,
or-
we have a third of our job done, so.
I think as far as trying to get more people involved, and I know we've put it in the newsletter, but sometimes, you know, people look at the newsletter and it's kind of the set, you know, and they don't always see it. Since we have the email listing, that everyone that gets the newsletter via email, perhaps at least one option would be just to send out an email to that list, a very specific email only about the Friends. You know, and just make it, you know, jazz it up a little bit, you know, or, you know, looking for some new ideas and some, you know, new energy and when the next meeting is, and then, you know, make sure that that meeting happens so that, you know, if new people do come, that might be just at least one thing. I mean, I think obviously the face-to-face, you know,
Yes.
talking to people is the best, but there still could be someone out there that would actually read the email.
Right.
And, I mean, that happened when we had to have volunteers during COVID to do the deliveries. I mean, that happened from people reading the email as opposed to people being directly asked. So I think that, you know, it can't hurt.
And I do think if you have friends or you know people who, might be interested, even if they don't want to be chair or vice chair, I think the Friends need active members. It's one thing to send in your donation. It's another thing to say, well, there, I'm all done with the Friends. No, you need help with, if you're going to do a fall fundraiser or a winter fundraiser, we need the people. It can't be just this little core group here doing all the work. And that's how burnout happens very easily. I have a few people that said they'd be interested in being active members, but don't make me chair or vice chair, they said. So, I mean, I might have some new members for the, I think asking whoever you know, your neighbor, even if it's, someone just recently retired, or maybe looking for something to do once a month, and, a little, say, okay, I'll work on one of the fundraisers, like, I will do all of this. And then you're done for the rest of the year. You come to the meetings, but you don't have to be in charge of everything, if that makes sense to you. I mean, look how I got the board here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. She's very good at this.
Yeah, she's good.
Joanna?
Yes, I don't know if people realize in this town, there's 1,400, I believe, seniors.
Or more than that.
More than that. And out of that, since the first of the year, we have only had 31 people give their $10 donations.
31?
31 people out of 1,400 people in town.
Well, it's more than that because anyone can be a friend. It's more like 6,500. 30.
Oh,
30.
how many?
This is, yeah.
Because it could be,
You have to
what?
be a senior.
Right.
I am one of them. I hope the rest of the board members.
It's really sad.
All right,
Okay, so.
get your
Ross,
checkbooks out, ladies.
I already sent mine.
Put a hex on anybody who is not a friend.
Well, I think that's important because when you
I did
read
mine.
the bylaws, it talks about the membership, and it talks about the membership is open to everyone, and I think we have to advertise that more fully. As I understand it, the Friends do not have a Facebook presence. Is that right?
No.
So that's one thing that,
I think that's our age. I mean, that's me.
I understand
even do it.
We
perfectly.
need young people, younger than us.
Yeah.
When all of us sitting in this room are technology immigrants, our grandchildren are the native-born technology users, they're from an early age. And we're at all different stages at our ease with the technology. But that's something that we can get someone very easily, someone adept at it, to just take that over. And, but I think that, that continual presence on Facebook, the appeal for participants,
right.
the appeal for money, and in terms of fundraising, there are, the things that the Friends of the Council on Aging has done for fundraising, the community-based, they involve people, you want to get that participation, but I'm sure that at Groveland Days, we probably don't have a table. We should.
Should.
There's the 350th, and is it 350th anniversary
Coming
of
up.
Groveland coming up?
Right.
We should have someone sitting at the table, but it does take people willing to put the time out there.
I know Lisa recently did that for us at
Yeah.
one of our.
At
one
the
of
Halloween
friends.
event
Right, the Halloween event.
and
right.
at the car show, the reunion at the Pines.
Oh, the Pines, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I did that, and I also put on Facebook through the town crier, the Join the Friends
Yeah.
sheet.
Good, we just have to have more of that, because obviously with only 30 people signing,
31 signed up.
31 people signing up, that, the word isn't getting out there, and,
And they should be aware, too, that the council only has, they probably don't even know that they're only allowed your $3,000 a year to function. And that's ridiculous.
It's
It was
ridiculous.
8,000, then it went to 6,000, and it's been 3,000 now for a couple of years. That's why I stepped up last year and tried to go out and raise funds, and I was appreciative of factory there in Groveland that attributed $600, and I'm trying to think of the people on the hills, Nichols Village also donated a good sum of money. And I understand that they yearly give to donations, which I'm going to see if I can speak to these people again for another donation this year. They say they keep so much aside to just do that. So I'm going to try and contact them again and see if we can get some more funds in.
Right.
It's really important. I don't know how an operation can work on $3,000 a year. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's a whole other question. You know, I think that we have to face the reality that, you know, this organization could fade away unless we get an influx of people. And as I understand it, it happened in West Newbury. Did I hear correctly that the Friends group in West Newbury has disbanded?
I heard that.
Really? West Newbury did?
That's
I
I heard through the
yeah.
grapevine, I don't know if it's true.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but, you know, the other reality is that there are a lot of organizations that have their hand out now, because that's the way of the world. So it is a competitive environment, you know, asking for donations. And it's, you know, what kind of town is Groveland? You know, are they going to support the seniors, or are they not going to support the seniors? And it means, you know, at the town meeting and at the ballot, but also, you know, are they willing to, you know, sit at a table, you know, put signs around for the yard sale, other things like that. And I think the going forward, what we can do to increase whatever we can do to increase our visibility is important. So I'm thinking, once we have a board going and have meetings scheduled, that we do some things in collaboration with other groups in town. You know, that's another way to do it.
I should speak up too about Daniels Electric. They also donated a large sum of money. What's the factory's name in Chesterton, they were the other ones, yeah. So, I mean, that was wonderful for those three companies.
They are-
or three set people.
They are good.
Right. And I want to give them
So they're
credit.
supporters of the
Supportive
community.
of the,
Right.
thank you, that's what I was trying to say.
But
Good
we
money
will be
givers.
going to those businesses for the calendar, you know, the businesses that are in town, to increase their visibility.
Right.
And, you know, we have had the banks in the area fund things like the refrigerator and freezer for the,
Wonderful, yeah.
for the food bank. We have had funds donated to put the tent up, that we have been using. So, you know, there is that element in the town that really has, and I think that there are other people and other businesses that might be willing. We just need the people to make the phone call and ring the doorbell.
Right, right.
So may I ask a question? I'm hearing that Joanna as chair and Valerie as vice chair.
At the moment,
Okay, but you're stepping down, leaving the Friends, or just, you'll still be a friend?
Oh,
Just-
no,
and it-
could not do that after all
Okay,
these
so,
years.
because I don't want to see everyone that has been involved
Health-wise,
clear
it's-
out.
it's
And then not
health-wise.
have
Right,
that
right.
history, because I think
Yeah.
you need that history to go
Well,
on
It's really health. you
and
know,
accept new ideas too,
You know, that kind of makes you step back.
Oh, I
so,
know. I
yeah.
hear you.
So if I can help,
Okay,
certainly.
good.
we haven't, I've heard it from a couple of people at Nichols Village. I hear you're leaving the Friends.
Well,
And I
that's
said,
what-
I don't know where that's come from, but it's just not true.
You're just
It's
stepping
just
down from
that
that position.
we are getting very tired. As I mentioned earlier, I've been involved since 1981.
Yeah.
I'm an old lady now. I need, in my 84th year, I need to say I can step back.
Right.
Because,
Right.
like Joanna, we certainly don't want this group to go defunct.
Okay.
I'm a member of the League of Women Voters. We just went defunct in Haverhill. The Greater Haverhill League went defunct last year. We didn't have enough members to keep going. And when you're a member, you have to pay $46 to be a member. which I think is unconscionable. Anyway, I helped run the candidates' night this year for the last time under the League of Women Voters of Greater Boston. I'm still a member of that, but as I said, different groups are going under. And to be fair, organizations are cyclical. They go up and they go down, and they sometimes disappear, they sometimes come back again. And as Joanna said, we don't want to see this organization go under. And we haven't said we're resigning, we're just saying we're please looking for people to come up and help us rest a little.
Okay, good, because
Thank you.
I heard that rumor too, and I was
Yes.
like, oh gosh. And just so people know, this is a 503 organization, I believe. You don't. 50 something. 503A?
C3.
503C? 503C maybe?
501c3.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. There's a 3 in
Yeah,
there.
I have it.
Which means when the Friends were initiated, when they started the group, they had to file with the state. It was a
Yeah.
whole lot, it's a lot of stuff that you have to go through. If this group disbands and ends, and then they want to start up again next year at this time, or whatever,
We'd have to start up with a different
start
name.
up all over, different, the whole thing, and I don't think it's worth that. And I'm glad to hear that, I'm hoping everyone here in this room is going to continue with the Friends, so that even if you're not chair, or, have a board position, you will be there to support whoever we all can find to do that. But we're still hoping that some people here might be interested, who have the experience, and who, would step up, like Rita just did.
Can I ask something?
Sure.
When I first joined, I won't say I was upset, but here I am helping the COA, and I have to pay a dues. Like you said, it doesn't make sense. So I would just thinking now, why can't, you can have the Friends of the COA that actually work with the Friends, and then you can have supporters of the COA where you're looking for donations.
Agree. Like Nisha had suggested to, on the Join the Friends form, have people who are going to participate, and then people are just supporting
Yes.
and
I
sending
kind of
their
suggested that
$10.
too, that, support the Friends. If you come to meetings and are involved at the end of the year, just keep attendance and just say, okay, you came to 2 meetings and you did, you put signs up for us, we'll give you your $5 back, or $10. But I don't know if you can do that, but it's maybe an incentive to get people to come and work, even if it may only
Almost like,
be.
yeah.
But you have two categories,
Or 2
supporters
categories, supporters.
or Friends. The
Right.
Friends, we can still pay the $10.
Almost like a
it's no big
volunteer
deal.
type.
Right.
But then nobody wants to get involved, so you just want their money, basically.
Right.
And they feel good about themselves that they're helping.
Right.
Or the
In
other
the-
option could
sorry.
be that if everyone did give the $10, even if you are an active friend, then at one event during the year, that would kind of be like, get in free, join the Friends for $10.
And you don't have to pay for the
Well,
meal?
no, join the Friends for $10, come to, participate in the Friends by coming to a meeting or working on an event, and get into something free.
Getting
That
something
might work.
free.
Get into one of the
the senior
luncheons or
events.
something.
Oh, I
Or
see.
the appreciation, get that,
Or,
get in for
something
free
like
to the
that.
appreciation meal or something, but
Appreciation for the supporters.
appreciation for the workers.
No, but I'm saying, we already get that, but you wanna keep it two different
Right.
groups.
Categories. That's something to discuss once you get the
But
group.
we've had that option on the membership forms in the past.
Yeah.
Acting or just supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Supporting was just sending your money in. Acting was you wanted to physically do something to help.
And did you get any response?
We've got a few.
That's all we need is a few.
I usually
You know,
send them
so-
to you. Yeah. We're not terribly good at following them up, though. Regarding fundraisers, I think the best fundraiser we've got right now is the calendar.
Yes.
without a
Which
doubt.
was Ron Merton's idea, unfortunately. Ron has been one of the most active people in our group, but he's had severe health issues, and he's not back online yet.
No, not
And we're looking forward to the time when he can come back online.
Okay, so putting our names on the line, Rita has volunteered, I have volunteered, we have other things. Board members do not, I will participate I'll help with the calendar raffle, I will run the winter fundraiser, and I'll help with the spring. That's feet on the ground.
We have another problem, though. We have a function coming up the 23rd of May, and we're having Panera serving our lunch at 11, and at 12:30 we have a singer coming to perform. And our problem right now is we only have like 12 people coming to this lunch that we're buying 50 meals for. And without mailing out a newsletter, from what I understand, there's no funds for mailing it out. And they have been put around town in different places, but certainly it's not bringing in the people to know what's going on. I've talked to people, and I've gotten 2 to come that didn't even know about it. And a reason we think a part of it may be that they weren't happy with Panera's sandwiches because there was too much of a variety, and people really couldn't get what they liked. So we're thinking about changing the order to turkey and ham, which for this function, instead of having a variety of a lot of sandwiches. And hopefully that will bring more people in. But at this point, the 23rd isn't far away.
I know.
And we need people that are going to be able to come and enjoy this time. It's sad.
We'll have to get a robocall out.
Nisha did that.
Oh,
I
she
got a
did?
call yesterday.
Yesterday.
I got one too,
Yeah.
yeah.
Got one.
I did
That's
too.
right, I did too.
I did too.
I think it's really important for people like your board to come and introduce yourself.
I'm already
We
signed
already signed up
up.
and paid our money, yeah.
We're
I did,
signed up.
so-
I mean, I'm signed up,
I am.
I'm not, I can't, I have phone calls
Yeah.
going on that
We won't
day.
be here.
and I brought friends. Because I'm spreading the word.
I would like to say, though, that you've already paid, right? Or you've been to Panera.
Yeah, I paid
Yes.
it, yeah.
Yeah, you've paid for 50.
So you paid how much, John?
$529.40.
That comes out of our budget.
yeah.
Now, the money that people pay doesn't come back to us, it goes to you. It goes to the council. We don't get a penny of the $8 that people pay. So you're not exactly getting nothing from it.
Right, right.
So however, whatever the number is of people signing up for this meal, at $8 is it each?
Yes.
$8
That
each.
comes back to Nisha and the Council on Aging. So we're spending it out, but it's coming in to you. I want
But
you,
actually, that's our purpose, is to
Yeah.
raise these funds to be able to do
But,
this.
but again, if you're paying ahead up front for 50
Right.
meals, and we
Right.
only
Yeah.
have 13 people
so
or
we're
whatever it is.
we're paying a lot of money, so we need to have, if every one of us called maybe 2 people
Yeah.
and said, I'd really love you to come to this,
Come with me.
or maybe if you need a ride, I will come and pick you up. I'm going to do that with Doris and Pam. And
That's a good idea.
I've found over the years, the personal touch makes the whole difference. If
Definitely.
you get a call from some, you really don't like saying no to a friend. And you have
Put
to
them on the
use-
spot.
You have to use that to your
You
advantage.
have to squeeze them a little.
Yeah, like I have to squeeze John to come. He says, "Oh God, are we going to that?" And I said, "Yes, we are." So I just wanted you to know that the money that comes in goes to you guys, or goes to Nisha.
Into the
So
donation.
you won't be quite penniless.
Not to Nisha, to the donation account.
That's
Don't-
right.
Yes.
Sorry.
We don't
I
want
should
people
clarify
thinking
that.
Nisha
It
has the money.
doesn't go into a pocket.
Right. Well, we thank you for that, and we're hoping everyone in this room will attend if they can, if they're not away. And that's what Valerie said is a very good point, is the personal touch. Ask your friends, ask your neighbors, to come with you, or will I see, or just even, will I see you there? Because it's going to be out, I believe it's going to be outdoors under the tent. That's the plan? Or I don't know. Am I wrong?
I haven't
heard that.
Okay. No, not
I
that.
don't-
Okay, so it's,
Yes, I did speak to Nisha, and she mentioned that having the meal outside under the tent, but then at 12:30 coming
Come inside with the
inside
singer,
for the
right.
singer.
right.
I believe that's how she's working that out.
It's quite a gap, isn't it, between having the
Well,
meal?
it's 11 for the lunch and then 12:30 for the
I
singer.
think the luncheon should be changed to 11:30, then it's more realistic. You're going to keep people for the singer. But if you keep it an hour
That's
and a
true.
half difference, it will not work out. That's poorly organized.
Well, another thing too,
People
well,
like to
socialize, yeah.
Yeah,
And
people
we
do like
did,
to
we did
chat.
buy the, what is that, speaker that, the music can be outside and it's portable, to have at this function too. What is it, the blue something?
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth last year for the COA. So that, I imagine Nisha is planning on that, having it outside.
Weather permitting. Well, I mean, that's coming up, and let's, I know the robocall went out, and hopefully that went out to everyone, that's, that we have, the seniors that we have their numbers. And I think also, what we, all of us sitting in this room, need to do is explain to people that the Council on Aging is not for old people. It's for active seniors. Seniors are not old or elderly. They're, we have 1/3 of our population in this town are seniors. Where are they? Don't think it's a bunch of old people and, like coming to a nursing home or whatever. It's not that. And even, I'm not bashing nursing homes, but I think the perception out there is that, well, I'm too young to go to those kind of things. And it's like, no, you're not. There are a lot of, a lot of people. Look at, you guys are young in.
Yeah, when you have a name, Council on Aging, it does
Yeah.
sort of give that
Right.
impression, doesn't it?
But we are aging.
Yeah.
Everyone's aging. The 5-year-olds are aging, for that matter. I don't know. Okay, I shut up.
Well, the other
Hello.
thing that might be helpful for some of these, like the event that's coming up, is if we were able to use the van to pick people up, to get
Oh,
them
it
here.
does. I
Because
think
there's
they
people that
do.
might like to come that just can't
Get here.
get here
I
easily.
don't think a lot of the
That's a good
elderly
idea.
are aware of that, too. And I heard of someone, and I tried to follow up on it, that someone would like to go to the movies, but they can't afford the van to come. And that's sad, And I think at some point, we should look into that.
Should be free, shouldn't it?
I would be
But I don't
surprised
think
that,
people are aware that
Yeah.
that's free for that function.
yeah, we could certainly accommodate. I mean, it's all about accommodations.
Right,
We all have
right.
different needs and different abilities, and, ability to pay is one of them. And if the mission is to support the older population in the town, and that's one way that the council, the COA, so I'll look into that. Let me know who that person is.
So,
I don't know if we can talk this anymore, other than to just, do you have is your next June meeting scheduled?
we will speak about that. We can make a date, I think, before we leave today as to when our next meeting is, and it should be shortly because the time is marching on.
Right.
And we do want to get some functions in, even though they're not going to make the newsletter, which has gone out, and the next one won't be going out until July. And if that makes a difference, because it's not going to be going to everybody, it won't be mailed again, and
We are under constraints, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you understand that.
Right.
And that's actually a nice segue into my comments about the search for a new director.
Yeah.
We currently have 2 applicants.
Oh, good, good.
The committee is going to be given those resumes today, and we will deliberate moving forward with 1 or 2 or neither if they are not, you know, if the committee decides, the subcommittee decides. So,
And I think the town should know that Nisha has done an excellent job in all this time between losing so many directors, that she's really been wonderful in continuing and helping to keep us all going.
she's the heart and soul of the organization.
She
that's
is,
for sure.
right,
That's
she
for sure.
is, and I'd like to
And, you know, we're
thanks.
we're working real hard to get the help that she needs, but there are also other positions that are not filled, and that's,
Right,
I mean, the
You can
Council
only
on
do
Aging
so
isn't
much.
alone in
Right,
having vacancies,
right.
and, you know, hopefully with the passing of the override, that the salaries will come up and maybe we will attract some candidates that haven't. It hasn't happened yet, but,
Yeah.
you know, by the time it all shakes out, hopefully, you know, by the time fall rolls around, we'll have a more full complement in the office. And, you know, we have a very active and participatory board. We want to help your board and help your organization too.
Question, is
Sure.
it correct that at the town meeting, nobody got up from any council on aging board or friends and asked for an increase in the amount of money allotted to the council on aging?
That's correct.
That is correct.
Why was that?
I think, I don't know, do you want me to?
Go ahead, yeah.
So I
can
think part
explain.
of the reason was that the budget that was submitted to the town
From our budget.
included significant salary increases for the employees already. It also restored some of the funding, not all, but some of the funding that had been lost in the prior year budget. And we felt that given the town's constraints and the fact that they were already going in and asking for $1,250,000 override, that since the salary increases, the town recently went through a survey, the Collins Center survey, which compares salaries with other similar municipal organizations and in the area. And the budget that was submitted did bring the director's salary up considerably, brought the outreach salary up considerably, allowed us to fund Nisha's position without grants, correct? Which in the past, we had to fund that with grants, which is just a recipe, frankly, in my opinion, for disaster. Because if the grant goes away, then
That was one of your
it
problems,
was an
right?
issue, yes. So that's why we didn't. We felt that the town had, I thought we had very good budget discussions,
Yeah.
the ones that I was involved with the town. And I think that they had done as much as they could, given the fact that we were already going in and asking for $1,250,000 override.
And I feel the COA was treated very well
Yes.
by the
They were-
finance and
The finance committee was
selectmen.
very receptive to our
Especially that,
requests.
taking the grant, like, picking up the rest of Nisha's salary and doing away with the grant. I mean, not that we did away with the grant, but that it's not
You're not
relying
you're not
so much on the
dependent on
grant.
it.
Her salary
Right.
is no longer dependent on a grant, which we felt was very
That was-
important.
that's-
Yeah,
that
that
was
was not a good idea to
No.
start with.
And we
That
felt
was
that,
a lot
so
of
we
money.
felt that the town had done as much as they could for us.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean,
That's
I
right.
couldn't understand that
I
either,
just
and
wanna
I'm
make
glad to
sure
hear that.
In the future, somebody gets up every year and makes a statement about the need for funding of the council
Council
on
on
Aging.
Aging, yeah.
That's all.
Well, perhaps someone will.
It's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah, and if nobody
Which we were
speaks
very
out, they
in
think
our-
that nobody's
and-
bothered.
During our meetings with the finance committee, we were extremely squeaky wheels. We had multiple meetings. We met with the finance committee as a board, or as most of us came, I believe. We also had separate meetings with the town administrator to understand the funding and to understand the grant constraints and to understand how the salary process actually worked and what could be done. I felt, again, as a new board member, that the council was treated very fairly given the constraints of Proposition 2.5. I mean, we've all lived in Massachusetts long enough that we understand what 2.5 did to this state and did to every single town in this state. It limited the amount of taxes that can be raised without requiring an override vote. And if you don't have a lot of new growth, there's no other way to get your funds. So I felt, I was actually very pleased
I was too.
with the reception that we got and with the commitment from the town to the importance of the mission of the Council on Aging. So,
My point is that in the future, you need to be more, how can I say, obvious.
Open.
And open when you're dealing with the general public.
Well,
It
yeah.
seems to
They
me-
need, because this is the first time I've heard that
Well, I
what
mean,
you've been doing, and you need to get the word out that you've been cooperating, or that the town has been cooperating with you, you know.
financially, yeah.
Because
What
where
you
I
had
said, when I
said
when I
could have been
heard
said
this,
at
I
town meeting,
couldn't
yeah.
believe that no one stood
We
up.
take that suggestion well, John.
yeah.
Thank you.
And it, you know, to know now what you have gone through to help the situation, it makes me feel so much better, because in my mind, I thought you people just didn't do anything.
Oh,
But
no, no.
apparently you did an awful lot, and
We worked
we're
hard,
very,
yes.
very appreciative
And all our
of it.
meetings are recorded, so all
Yeah.
of that information was there on all of our recorded meetings.
Some people don't listen.
That's
Yeah.
not the point. The point is the majority of people who go to town meeting do not watch all of this stuff.
Right,
They're
right.
not involved in
They
it.
don't know.
But they become exposed to the problems that every board has. And you need to make sure that you are
We-
obvious.
We were there if there were issues. If you had gone to town meeting or watched.
Excuse me, I'm not criticizing
No,
you
no, no,
on
I'm
this
just
issue.
saying,
It's
nobody
future.
got up and fought for their funding because it just went all in favor, aye.
Oh,
Mm.
wow.
Yes.
Yeah, the budget actually passed quite quickly. It
No,
was-
there were
it was
no
the-
holds or
The community
anything.
preservation funding is what tied up the
Tied
most
up
of the
most of the
conversation.
meeting. So, I mean, I was prepared to get up if I needed to. I also had my library hat on if I needed to. It just went right through. So we were very fortunate. Go ahead, Beth. Beth?
I was gonna say, once you get to the town meeting, the budget has pretty much been decided. So anything that you ask for in and above that now puts the budget out of balance.
Out of balance.
But John's point is taken, that it's the perfect opportunity when they announce the Council on Aging's, when they go through each line item and they announce the Council on Aging, you could ask for a hold and then just stand up and promote the council, what they do, and not ask for more money at that point, but just promote the organization.
Absolutely.
And I think
You've
going
got-
forward, that would be
You've got
something
You've
that,
got the perfect outlet to make your case, and it goes around the town. Sorry, I was interrupted.
No, that's all right. No, I just wanted to reiterate, you know, that we did have many meetings with the Finance Committee and with the town administrator, received great support from them, certainly made our point. We were kind of a PIA at points in saying, we want this, we want this, we want this, and at one, you know, they said, well, what do you want versus what do you need? And so we did push for it. But I think that is a good idea, that when our particular budget comes up at town meeting, for someone from the board or whoever to just get up and say, we've done all this work with the Finance Committee and the town administrator. We certainly appreciate your support in this. You know, the Council on Aging is very important. We need these extra funds, and thank you for putting that in your budget. I think that's a really good
And to
idea.
tell people how many seniors there are in town, and also how Nisha has all these numbers, how many seniors get support from the council. That's really important. People need to know that, you know, because there's a certain element in town that says, I'm not a senior, I might be over 60, but I'm not old, you know.
that's what I was saying before.
But
right.
when they need services, they are old. They're old enough to call.
Or want services.
Yeah,
No, just-
Nisha is the central person who has her fingers on all these pies of where people in need can call or get help. And people need to know that. Thank you.
Just blow your horns, guys. Just blow all the time, every year, without fail.
We've been treading water, John. So now we're gonna be able to start swimming.
Right.
All right?
No, I mean, half of this, just so you know, half of this board is brand new. Brand new, November. We had half the board leave. I had just come back on the board. I hadn't been
Right.
on the board for a year. So it was Marie, myself, and Irene Thomas, who is not here today. We were the only three board members. Oh, and Larry had joined last year, but had come to one meeting, and then,
I'm still a rookie. I
You're still a
Haven't
rookie.
finished my first year yet.
right, and then the rest of the board came on in November.
And you
So-
jumped
And then
in
we
the
had no
deep end.
director, we had to go get a director. It's been a whirlwind, and like Larry said, we have had a very active, participatory board, and I thank you all, by the way. You've all worn many different hats, and, yeah. But
We're getting there,
we're
John.
getting there. It's a lot to learn. The learning curve is, whoop.
Just from my point of view, I want to say how much I appreciate what you are doing and that you are an active board. Sometimes you have a board that has one active members and the others are just rubber stamps, and that doesn't work.
Right, no.
And I think it's made a difference too this past year with us meeting together on occasions and getting
yeah,
together, which we should have done all these years.
Something I felt was very important to
Right,
know what,
and
you know.
just, it really is important.
It should be a hand-in-glove
Right.
operation, definitely.
Between all of us, yes, yeah.
Well, unless anybody else has anything to contribute,
Well, just so you know, I mean, I will be available to help in any capacity too. But like we said at the beginning, we cannot be,
Right.
you know, the positions.
Don't
But
forget
I
to
will-
make those calls. We need people for the
Yes,
23rd.
yes. And
You need to talk to
you want to take a motion to adjourn?
I was going to say, are there any other comments or
Sorry?
things you wanted to bring up at this point?
The
Yeah.
assistant treasurer.
Excuse
You have to go to the bank with me.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
sign it.
Yes.
Okay?
And that's TD Bank, right?
No, it's Minto.
Oh, okay. They don't know me there.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So
Just have a
moved.
question.
Oh, yes.
Were they going to plan a June meeting date today
Oh,
or not?
Yes, before we leave, I hope friends will stay and we
You could come up with
can.
one so that we can announce it
Oh,
if anyone
sure.
watches.
And I think we should also.
What's the first
send an email.
Thursday in June?
Say, I'm sorry.
Everybody got a calendar?
I think we should put it into an email that goes out to everyone
Yes.
that gets the newsletter emailed to them.
Okay, first Tuesday in June.
First Thursday.
Oh, Thursday?
Yeah, first Thursday.
Hold on.
The old fashioned, right?
I don't have my
I
calendar.
don't have mine, just took it out.
June 1st is a Thursday.
Oh,
June 1st?
it's on the, okay, yeah, June 1st. We'll have our
And we
meeting.
will ask Misha to put that out, maybe a robocall somehow. Maybe we could phrase it in such a way, we need your help. Please come, you know, rather than just saying it's going to be June 1st. And where do you usually meet?
At the town hall.
Town hall at what
Right.
time?
At 3 o'clock on Thursdays.
Thursday, 3 o'clock.
We have to see if we have the room, too.
Right.
The 31 people who have joined, could we have access to that list?
Sure, I have it
You have
right
that?
here.
Okay. Because I think, you know, making direct contact, those people not only expressing appreciation, I did get a note, thank you, John, but also encouraging them to back up their wallet with actual, you know, come to the meeting.
Participate.
And, you know, I think people will, you know, 3 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon might not work for everybody,
Right.
but they
Yeah.
could still get involved with one of the fundraisers. So
Yeah.
that would be important. But increasing membership is a whole other thing.
And that's something too, I think, because I've been in many different groups around town and, you know, my church. You can join the Friends, be an active member, but it doesn't mean you have to, and I'm not saying this, but maybe your forte is going out and asking businesses for donations. So you would be a perfect person to work on that calendar, but maybe you don't want to do the yard sale. I'm not a yard sale person, or vice versa. It's whatever you can help with.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking, it doesn't mean like you have to do every single thing. You can, I'm just feeling it's more of a pick and choose, and, you
Yeah.
know, that what you find you enjoy doing, or what your strength is, any way you can help the friends. It may be coming for the friends, the meals we're doing, and helping put the tables and chairs up. We need that help too, you know, so that, just the people out there, if anyone's watching, think of it, and we will do that. Okay. All right, we are adjourned at 10:30 a.m.
John?
No.
Did you motion it?
I'm
Oh,
We're having a little meeting.
we didn't vote, but